Hi, my name is Emily Mallett, and I was the stage manager for this year's show, All in the Timing. I've wanted to get involved with Soccer Buskin for a really long time, pretty much as long as I've been at Carleton. But unfortunately, for various reasons, it never worked out until this year, and I'm so grateful it did. It was a great experience. They put on such good shows, and I'm really glad that I got to be a part of that community. My biggest takeaway from this year had to be the virtual aspect, as I imagined it is for many other people. It was just a completely different experience. It was very weird not being in the same room as the actors or the directors. The communication became a lot more important, and staying on top of things, making sure that everybody knew what was going on. Something that was really neat was I have been lucky enough to usually have an assistant stage manager or a lighting director or sound director who has physically done the cues. I've just called them. But this year it was just me, which was a lot of stress, but really cool and really fun. My favorite memory from stage managing this year, that's really hard to pick. I mean, the cast and directors that I worked with were just so great and so funny and nice that there are a million and two moments that I loved. One thing that was kind of fun was, if you didn't see All in the Timing, is it was actually 7 shorter vignettes instead of one larger play. So the way that we'd rehearse is we usually have more than one vignette going at a time, because we have multiple directors. And then I would just pop in between, take notes, keep an eye on everything. But half the time when I'd pop in, the cast was doing something bizarre. All in the Timing was a bit of a bizarre show, so that's not completely random. It was to be expected. But sometimes it could be very weird, not knowing what was happening. I once popped into a room and the cast and the director were doing this, and I was so confused. But they actually were taking a screenshot at the exact moment that I popped in. So there is a wonderful photo somewhere of the cast and crew doing this, and then me looking completely confused. I still don't know what they were doing, where it came from, why, but it was great. There's so many moments like that. It was such a good experience. To tag on to that, I want to say thank you to the cast and the directors of All in the Timing. You guys were fantastic. So much fun working with you guys. Thank you to the artistic directors and the board of Sock and Buskin. It was such a cool experience getting to do my first Sock and Buskin show, and I mean, hopefully down the line there's a second one.
Hello, I didn't see you there. My name is Gabby. I was one of the stage managers for Concord, Floral, and this is my video. I wanted to get involved with S&B this year by stage managing because I have been a stage manager ever since I was in grade 9. It was one of the most memorable experiences I've had in high school, and just being a part of such a collaborative and inspiring environment pretty much every single day was just one of the best times I've ever had. So I was very excited to keep doing something similar at Carleton. One of the biggest lessons I've had from stage managing this year was that you don't actually have to be there to stage manage. I was one of the only people in the cast who wasn't in Ottawa, and while it was kind of a bummer that I couldn't actually see them perform live in person, I was still able to make meaningful contributions even from, at home. I got them coffee during the longer rehearsals and cheered them on when they were performing the same scene over and over again on stage from Zoom. I just watched over Zoom, and it's nice that I could be part of their little community even from so far away. And one of my favorite memories from stage managing this year was after the opening show. The cast took a little video for me once they got off stage, and they were very hype, and they were all like, "We love you, Gabby," and like all that first show energy was just radiating off my screen, and I just felt very warm and fuzzy and part of something very, very beautiful, and I'll be forever thankful for that. And yeah, that's all for me, at least. I am so excited to keep stage managing, hopefully for as long as I'm at Carleton and for as long as they'll have me. And yeah, till next time, goodbye.
Hi, my name is Natasha. I was the stage manager for our first show of the season, Bad Auditions on Camera. I was excited to stage manage with Sock and Buskin this year because of the challenges that the virtual show presented us. It was the first virtual show that we put on this year, and I really enjoyed just figuring out the logistics, figuring out how to do it, how does Zoom work. Things were still kind of new at that point, figuring out like how to, work with the cast, how to get them to bond, how to have a good time without being in the space. I would say, because of that, my biggest positive takeaway was just how resilient the theater community is. A lot of the people in the show were first years, and it's just really heartwarming to see them come out and trust us and trust that we'll still be able to put together a show, which is I did a fantastic job bringing them together, showing their talents on screen, and I was just really grateful to be a part of that. So theater resilience, it holds strong. My favorite memory, I would say, would be at the end of the show. We had a live poll for audience members, and based on that poll, we had various alternate endings. So I really enjoyed seeing the results of that come in, and then occasionally you had cast members chatting while that's happening, and they comment on who had won that night, and there was a scramble for them to change in the costume that they needed as they all played more than one character. So that was a lot of fun, and then seeing the cast interact with our audience in the chat afterwards. We had a sort of talk back as they send in questions for us there, and it was not quite like a live audience, but it made up for it. We still felt that energy. We still felt that people appreciated and enjoyed the work that we put on. I also want to say a massive thank you to all of our stage managers this year. You guys did a fantastic job. The season couldn't have been done without you. You worked through all the technical difficulties, just everything. You supported directors, you supported your cast, and it was an odd year, and we did it. We put on 3 shows this year, and I couldn't be prouder of everyone.
A huge thank you to all our stage managers this year who have put in a ton of work behind the scenes in a very unusual and challenging year to make our shows the best they can be. We really appreciate your hard work and dedication.